Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd. Today is Monday, March 16th. My voice feels as good as LSU baseball fans feel about LSU baseball right now. Definitely not the Whistler. I got to experience the Whistler in person on Friday.
And?
Didn't love that. It's easier when you're there than on TV.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. Like you hear it, but you're there. You have the noise of the stadium around. On TV, you hear it just in the background. It's just annoying. Vanderbilt obviously takes 2 out of 3 from LSU. LSU is 1 pitch away from winning the series. Doesn't take away from the things that did not go right and for the reasons of LSU losing the series. They swung it well enough. They scored enough runs to win the series. They did not pitch it well enough. They have yet to put it all together in a big series over the weekend. It's the best team that they've played to date, and the pitching staff got exposed. We're going to talk a little bit about that as the show goes on. We'll also talk a little bit about the offense because as bad as the offense has been, this weekend they were the best they've been in a long time. Obviously, Jake Brown stays hot, hitting homers. Lefty homer on Sunday. It should be happy for a lot of people to see that because as he's worked so hard on getting better at hitting left-handed pitchers, he's still hitting over 411 homers. I think he's pushing 40 stakes. He's doing everything he can to Great pick. He's doing everything he can to propel the team to victory, making good plays in the outfield. This weekend did not fall on the offense. This weekend fell on the pitching staff. Not one starter got through 5. Bullpen walked a bunch of guys, hit a bunch of guys. They gave up big innings in every single game. So we're going to talk about that. Also talk about what to look forward to and what's to come because it is the first game. You avoid a sweep, which may not sound big, but it is big. 0-3 is a lot worse than 1-2. Even though it's only one game, yes, it's a lot worse, especially when you win on Sunday to be able to come home and not have to swallow a sweep all the way home. But we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about the World Baseball Classic. Last night was electric. That was as high level of a baseball game as you're ever going to see. Better than any World Series you're going to see. Better than any baseball all-star game because you're never going to have that type of intensity. That was an all-star game. That was the best players in the world playing at as high level of baseball as you possibly could. One of the greatest offenses of all time. If you go look at who's hitting in this offense in the Dominican Republic and the United States offense, same thing. 2-1 game. Pitching was phenomenal. Defense was phenomenal. Energy was phenomenal. Amazing showcase for Major League Baseball. Finally, we said this before, WBC, this is a great way for baseball, Major League Baseball, to put their name back kind of in the forefront. Hopefully they do it. They've done it. We're going to talk about that throughout the course of the show. But before that, let's have a little chat. Well, how are you? How was your weekend, Lloyd? You had a good weekend. Saw you had some watch parties here watching the boys play baseball. How was your weekend?
Busy. Did a baby shower for shout out Houston and Lily.
Baby shower. Isn't that a girl thing?
Yeah, but then
it's a couple's baby shower.
Well, yeah. So I missed the. They went to the oldest par 3 golf course in America and resides in Alexandria, Bringhurst. Missed that because we stayed up here way too late on Friday, but made it back for the crawfish boil, the joint crawfish boil for everybody to get together.
Nice.
Did that, then drove back again for the watch party on Sunday where we did a 5-hour LSU baseball game and a dub, and then we just kept it rolling into Paul Skeens and World Baseball Classic.
What a day. Did you order some food?
We did.
What'd you get?
What is it? Blue plate.
Blue Store chicken?
Blue Store. I didn't have any because I just crawdadded out.
Blue Store's fried chicken.
I know, but I didn't want to do double up.
Double up with what?
Bad food for you.
Oh, like the crawfish. The crawfish is bad because of all the sodium.
Yeah, I felt like I was...
Like the actual crawfish itself is like...
No, they were delicious.
But it's the sodium that gets you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Went 10 rounds with the across the way over there.
Nice. Good for you. So big weekend for you. Busy weekend. Worked hard. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you. Jay, how was your weekend?
Watched a lot of ball this weekend, boys.
Oh.
I was sitting here watching ball.
Nice. Just studying up.
Watching ball, doing dad shit. You know.
There you go. There you go. I was not doing dad shit this weekend.
No.
I had my wife's brother, my friend, Andrew Simon's getting married, so we had a bachelor party for him in Nashville. So we actually got to watch some of the Friday game, and then just hung out, had some nice camaraderie around the weekend. Obviously, that's where my voice went. I left it in Nashville. Whoa.
Left it all out there.
Left it all out there for the team. So we did that. Came back very, very tired. Nice rest. My son, being the awesome kid that he is, could feel that dad needed him to come through for me and have a good night's sleep. Right? Because listen, you're gone for the weekend. You have to come back, and it is a
adjustment.
Hey, look, you've been gone. I've been grinding. I need some help. Here we go. And you got to do it. And it's part of your duties as a dad. So you come in, you're ready. And during the day, obviously, then at night you go to sleep, and you're like, all right, I just got to sleep. The up and down, it's tough. My son slept 6.5 hours straight. Gave me a nice stretch. Fed him, did the whole deal. So shout out to my son for being clutch.
He could see you were struggling.
Just at 2 months old, sensed it. I'm going to be
HWA.
Me and you are going to be boys. Yeah, me and you are going to be boys. So he picked me up. I appreciated that. But, yeah, that was my weekend. It was great. It was fun. Obviously, LSU, it would have been nice to see them get a series dub, but they do not. There were some things that you can look at and say, okay, that were good, and there was a lot of things you could look at and say that was not so good. As bad as LSU played, I guess on the mound, as inconsistent as they were, as many free passes they gave up, they've made some errors throughout the course of the weekend. As bad as that was, and I'm gonna start with the highlight. I'm gonna start with the good things.
Yeah.
They were one pitch away from winning the series. He's like, oh, you don't know that when it happens. You don't. Of course not. But you have, Gavin Guidry on the mound, who's been very good for you. He gets the 2 outs, 2 strikes, runners on, I guess second and third or first and second, wherever they were, up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he leaves the slider up. The guy gets it, walk-off homer. Devastating. Not good. Game 2, they just get beat. Vanderbilt just beat them. Didn't swing it well. Vanderbilt swung the shit out of it. Beat them. Sunday, LSU comes out, bats start rolling. They score 16 runs. They salvage the weekend. So you win on Sunday the way you won. You win on Friday. You have the you win the game. What I do like about Friday, win the series. What I do like about Friday and Sunday, up until what? Up until that weekend, LSU has not really shown the ability yet to have some adversity in a game of a game and be able to come back from that and win it. Friday, they were down 10-4. Came all the way back to take a 12-10 lead going into the 8th inning. And going into the 9th with a 2-run lead, they end up obviously getting walked off, but came all the way back from 6 runs to take a 2-run lead. This game, was that?
Game 3.
Game 3, weren't they down? No, they were up.
They were up.
They were up 6-1, gave up the lead, and then were able to bang their way through the game. And so for me, it was the first time that we really saw, especially on Friday, them come through, get through a little bit of adversity, things not going their way, but score enough runs and kind of make up for it on one side of the baseball to put themselves with a chance to win. They won on Sunday, obviously didn't win on Friday. That's a highlight for me. That was something that they can move forward. No moral victories here at LSU, especially on the baseball side. But that's some of the things. There's other things I like that we'll get into. I want to ask you, Jared, you watched this weekend's games, part of the lot of ball that you watch, I'd imagine. Talk me through what you saw.
So for me, I guess if there's positive takeaways for me outside the building, because I'm sure they feel a lot different about what they're doing inside the building than what maybe a lot of people do outside the building. I would say outside the building, the loud noise in the conversation has been, oh, this team can't hit. They're not as good. We're just not going to be able to hit. Well, they put up 31 runs this weekend. They averaged over 10 runs a game this weekend. I would imagine that if you average over 10 runs a game this weekend in any given weekend, you would expect to at least win the series. That obviously didn't happen, but they were one pitch away from that happening. So that part I do feel good about because we can kind of shut that down, at least for a little bit of this team can't hit. Yes, there is guys that continue to need to get going in that lineup, but they obviously can hit, right? The second part of it is if I'm being completely honest, outside of Missouri, every home team in the league won a series and are swept. Alabama got swept and Missouri got swept, right? So with those being the two things that are going on, I sit here and I look, it's hard to win series on the road. So you go on the road, you're able to get one, you are a pitch away from getting the other one. That shows me right now that we're sitting here with a team that ain't peaking yet. And if I'm being honest with you, when I got 10 weekends of SEC play and 30 ball games to play, I don't need you peaking on games 1, 2, and 3. I don't need you to gel the most on games 1, 2, and 3. Find ways to keep yourself in the fight until you do get hot. So when I look at them, yes, like I said, there's guys, there's bats in the lineup that you're expecting more out of that need to get going, right? I think if those guys get going, you're looking at something different. And I also think as these starting pitchers get stretched out, and meaning stretched out for me is I'm thinking about getting over that 90 to 95 to 100 pitch mark, that's all they want kind of to go as they're kind of progressing and going along. As these guys get to that spot, I think you start having to thin down the amount of arms that you're trying to use on the mount, in the pen. And with those guys being able to do that, and if they can do it at a more efficient rate, meaning they get deeper in the ball games, I think you're able to use those 3 or 4 or 5 trusted bullpen arms on the weekend that are going to deliver in high leverage opportunities. So I think this team has a chance to be a lot better as they continue to go forward. With that being said, it wasn't the best weekend of baseball, but I'll repeat, I don't need weekend 1 out of 10 to be the best weekend of baseball that you get.
Yeah, and look, to go back to the pitching staff, like your bullpen's not, look, you can go in thinking your bullpen is very, very, very deep. You have 10, 11 guys. Nobody in college ever has 10 or 11 guys in their bullpen. They just don't. Nobody in the big leagues has 10 or 11 guys in their bullpen that they rely on. 4 or 5 is really good. If you got 4 or 5 guys that you can actually count every game, that's a lot. 3 to 4 is probably more realistic of college baseball. Now, if they're 3 or 4 high level, great. And so they did not do what they needed to do out of the bullpen this weekend to give you a lot of confidence that they know who their 4 guys are right now, right? They may think they know, but they haven't done enough been consistent enough for them to be those guys. Now, the starters, obviously, pitch count's going to go up. They need to work deeper into games. This is the first time that all 3 pitchers didn't get to 5 innings, but it was also the biggest level of competition that they faced to date. Best offense they faced all year. And not only did they not get through 5, they were extremely inconsistent as far as throwing strikes. It wasn't like they got pounded across all over the field. They walked a bunch of guys. We talked about this last week. If you're going to go to Vandy, and Vandy is going to be being second in the country in homers, you cannot give them opportunities to hit 3-run homers. Can't walk guys and put guys on base and give them, because if they're going to hit the homer, it needs to be a solo homer. This weekend was not the case. They hit homers with guys on base because you're able to put them on there. So the pitching staff, the starting pitching staff up until this point has done a pretty good job. At least 2 to 3 guys for the most part have gotten into the 6th or 7th for the weekend. Best level competition. First weekend they didn't get to through 5. That is something that you have to look at going forward because it's not the end of the world. Getting swept would have been a disaster. Getting that salvage win on Sunday was huge. But to start the season, you have Vanderbilt, who's not playing their best baseball. Probably should have won the series, but you didn't. You got Oklahoma and Kentucky at home. And then you got, what's the 4th one? We've talked about this. Oklahoma, Kentucky.
You talking about the first 4 teams they played?
First 4 series.
Oklahoma, Kentucky, Vandy, and Tennessee.
In Tennessee. right?
Yeah.
So in Tennessee, I don't know. I think they lost a series this weekend.
Yeah.
But
did
you
they.
have the back end of your schedule is very hard. You're going on the road. Tennessee is one of those. You're going at Tennessee, but you're going at Mississippi State at the end of the season. You're going at Ole Miss, all hard places to play. You're at home against a very high-level competition. And so you don't want to get in a situation where you are chasing wins towards the back half of the year. Not saying you can't do it. I got something in my eye, sorry. Not saying that you can't do it. It's just going to be a lot more difficult. And so pitching, we thought we could lean on the starting pitching this on the weekends. This weekend, you looked up, could not. And I'm not making any excuses because they did not throw well. Vanderbilt's a very unique field. I hate it. I think it's Little League shit. I think you always, at the minimum, have to have a dirt batter's box and a dirt mound. Cannot have a turf box and a turf mound. That's what they had there. I'm not saying that was any reason why it didn't work out. I'm not. It was a weird deal. I'm not saying the pitching staff's that was the excuse, but they're gonna have to be better, and you're gonna have to be able to be more consistent. Vanderbilt's just a weird stadium to play at. That's my 2 cents on that. What were your thoughts?
Me?
On the weekend?
I mean, I'm gonna do the casual Lloyd take
Do
of
it. Perfect.
Friday. Just the umpiring was so tight that it led to you going through the box score here. Casey Evans goes 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts on 83 pitches. Cooper Williams comes in. I guess if you don't record an out, it's 0 innings pitched with 4 walks, 4 earned, and 4 runs, and 4 batters faced, so that's good. Newt comes in, also 2 walks.
Yep, a lot of walks.
2 in the third. No. 2/3 of an inning. Zach Cowan was the bright spot of Friday.
This is why you're doing it, because...
Yes.
Okay.
Because he came in as somebody that you've been wanting to see that would kind of get back to
Friday.
form. Yeah, on Friday.
Yep.
Get back to form of what he's done, and somebody that does. You talk about you have 4 or 5 guys that you can trust. Cowan has now put his name into that hat after what you saw, because it was what I would say Guidry, even though it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. But it's somebody that is
a good
first out
inning
the
in
pen.
there.
Sheeran.
Yeah, definitely.
Rizzi is on the
Rizzi's
fringe. But if you add Zach Cowan, somebody that can extend and go 3 1/3 and is able to fill up the zone and throw strikes,
Correct.
He gave you the opportunity.
You gotta have one of these guys.
Yes.
Gotta have a lefty.
But we're not going to talk about the lefty at all. We're not adding him in there.
Which
Who?
one?
Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my guy. I drafted him. He's on my team. What are you talking about? I know all about him.
So you're saying you don't think he's one of the 4
No,
or
he
5
is.
being
No, I
counted?
was just talking about going through this.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I was just going through the Friday night guys of which you like, because obviously LSU had an opportunity to win that game, and then for them to go. So he went with his horses. He went with Cooper Williams. Continues to get opportunities, and that's the funniest thing about this team. You've yet to see them put together, at least recently, both sides of it, right? Like
Well, you've seen a couple of the guys that are struggling have success last year for us, right? Like
you
you
expect
saw
Cooper Williams
Cowan
to come
throw
in.
well. You saw Cooper Williams throw well.
You saw Rizzi come
You
back.
saw Rizzi come back throw well.
And
So,
Guidry
like-
has been a pleasant surprise.
And so you've seen those guys start. They have not done it consistently this year.
Well, no, they haven't matched up, and that's why for me, the Friday night loss was really a kick to the dick, because you kind of did everything right for LSU baseball. You came back, you got a 2-run lead, you had the guy that you wanted on the bump, and you lose. You get walked off against the net at Vanderbilt, and it felt like one that you had. It slipped through your fingers, and
Correct.
then Saturday you just got beat. And
It
that was
slipped through your fingers, but you also had no business being there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So you could have stole it. Like you had the bag. You just got to get out the door and get in the car.
If we were stealing it to start, then that doesn't really mean it was ever ours. Like, we were lucky to get back in that thing the way we did.
Well, I think actually I will say this. I think slipping through the fingers is a good thing, because we stole it from there, and then we fumbled the loot that we just stole.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you weren't like you have no 10-4 the way the game was going. You had no business. Credit to LSU's offense. Credit for them getting on base. Obviously, Vanderbilt helped with poor pitching, some wild pitches, some pass balls, all these types of things. Offensively, they did what they needed to do to at least make it tight. Pinch hit, 3-run double for Dardar. Obviously, kind of got him going. It was 10-4. That made it 10-7. Oh shit! Okay, we're kind of still in it. You know, then you
Crooked number
12,
of the eighth.
12-10. So it's like, okay, you have an opportunity to steal a game, which you have to do in the SEC, and then it just falls through your fingers. So I think the phrase works.
Yeah. Also, because it's a game in which I don't think you should have won. But that's why I think could have been a thief scenario, because you walked 9, 10, 11 in the first game and then 10 in the second game. You have 21 walks in 2 games. You shouldn't win any games in which that happens.
Exactly.
And so you had a chance to be able to steal one, and it's just unfortunate the way that played out, because you had the guy that you wanted on the mound, but Gavin Guidry has proven to be able to do, and it just felt like it was like a real gut punch of, damn, kind of stole it from you.
Yeah, correct.
But then you see you do have to go back to the starting pitching on Saturday and Sunday and Friday and go, nobody got through the fourth.
Well, and then that gives you that, obviously Schmidt wasn't throwing terrible, but he had a little back deal that Jay had talked about. He said it just wasn't – it looks like he was laboring, wasn't the same. So he pulled him to help him, to protect him. And so that's part of why he didn't go deep. It wasn't necessarily – wasn't as sharp as he has been. I think he walked a few guys, but –
he went
was
4
getting through
innings,
it.
3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 84 pitches.
Right. So he had probably only had one more inning at most.
Mm-hmm.
And
was laboring.
He was laboring. And so he takes him out. So then that's something that you have to look for going into next weekend. What is the back injury? Right? Is it just maybe it was a little muscle
tweak,
spasmed up a little bit, tweak, or is it something that's going to be a little bit longer of a deal? That's another conversation, because who fills that role? I don't know.
And I wanted to ask both of you, asked Jared this morning, where do you sit with the Case and Evans scenario? Because there's becoming more and more talk of how do you use him, whether it be not on Friday, but maybe Saturday, Sunday. But if Schmidt is hurt, it doesn't feel like you're going to make that move now.
Right, but here's my thing about that. Whether you want to move him to be what he was last year or not, the same thing applies. You have to you have to throw strikes, right? Because last year he wasn't a 1-inning guy.
No.
Where he could just go. He would go multiple innings. So, regardless of what role he's in, he's got to be more consistent filling up the zone. That's the bottom line.
Nice, 316.
You can do what?
Stone Cold.
What?
It's Stone Cold Day, 316. That's the
nice.
bottom line.
Nice.
What?
I didn't even know that.
What?
Unintentional.
What?
And so whether you want to argue or debate whether he should be a starter or not a starter, that's fine. But the reason of the way he's going to have success doesn't change. And what he needs to do better doesn't change. And that's he has to be more consistent around the zone. He's got their strikes. So, but yeah, I'm with you. With Schmidt being out, I don't think that move is being made.
So I'll say this: we don't know that he's out.
Out,
yet, right?
yeah. It's unfair to say.
He got pulled early from that game. We'll see this weekend if he's out. I'll say this, and I kind of said it this morning. I do think that conversation. Now, obviously, the William Schmidt thing puts a little bit of a wrench in this, and it makes it a little tough to do it if that's what you want to do, or at least the health of William Schmidt right now. I do think that conversation started. And I think that conversation started not because of just Kaysen and what he hasn't, quote unquote, done on Friday. Like, you've seen enough on Friday where you're like, I know he can get it done on Friday, but you're not solidified and sold that he's back to where he was or doing what he did last year. So this isn't about just Kaysen. For me, it's about those 5 pre-conference games you've lost already, right? So with those losses, if you're not looking at a conference schedule that you're probably sitting here thinking, yeah, we'll go 18-12. Yeah, we'll go 20-10. We know we're in a good spot where we're in. You start looking at and picking at, where can I get W's? I need W's. What you can't afford is if we're not going to have consistent pitching in these midweek games, if we don't know that, if that's not where we're at, you can't afford more losses there. And then if you can't afford more losses there and you're not looking at 18-12 or you're not looking at 20-10, you start to count, well, where can we keep stealing these wins? So I say that because I'm thinking now it has to become a conversation because if we get these guys on Saturday and Sunday and all these starters start to get stretched out and they get to that 90, 95, 100 plus pitches, if they get to those spots and I'm getting consistent performances to where I know what I'm getting out of them, I do think it's a conversation that you slide them up. I do think it's a conversation that you flip the Sunday guy to Friday if there's a possible way of doing that, if you feel comfortable with doing it. Why? Because if you feel like that's good, then you know you're getting what you're getting out of them that gets you an opportunity to get to a case and or just the back end of your bullpen to get a dub in those spots. And you say, just like we've always seen it done in the SEC, figure it the hell out on Sunday. So I do think that it's a conversation that started, and a lot of it's going to be on it. Are those other two starters healthy or not?
Yeah, no, look, I'm with you in a sense. I think you look at what we talked about, the bullpen being inconsistent, right? You don't have guys you can count on. Jay has repeatedly said that he believes the back end of the bullpen is more important than the starters, right? That's what he said. Like he says, you have to have someone that can finish it. I don't know if they move him out of the starter role, but if the conversation's being had, I think it's a perfect storm to have that conversation because your bullpen hasn't been great and Kaysen hasn't been consistent, is what I'm going to say. And so if there were a time to have a conversation, maybe it's like, okay, well, listen, if we're not being consistent, maybe we put you back in the role of the do-everything guy. You go and dominate, and now you shore up the back end, and we're at least able to start winning games in the back end of games because now we have a guy that we can believe in. Maybe that started the conversation. Regardless of that, every time he's on the mound, he's got to be able to throw strikes. Whether he's closing, whether he's starting, the whole reason why he hasn't been consistent right now is because he's been walking guys. And he hasn't thrown strikes. And that's why he hasn't been effective. So whether
I wouldn't say he hasn't been effective.
I mean, hasn't been consistent.
He hasn't been a Friday night ace.
He hasn't been consistent, but like my point is he gives up the big inning because of the walks. So like he's been walking guys, he's been around the dish, he's been throwing a lot of, like that's the thing. It's just it has to be a little bit more consistent as far as throwing strikes.
Okay, I will read. He has 22 and a third innings pitched, 19 hits, 17 runs. ERA is at 16. And then how many walks do you think he has?
14.
12. By far. I mean, obviously the most innings pitched, but also the most walks and 35 strikeouts. My contention would be if there is going to be a change made, it wouldn't be Kaysen Evans going to Saturday or Sunday. It would be reverting back.
We're talking about the bullpen.
Right. And then that would be who is the next guy that becomes a starter.
You would just bump him up. Yeah, who's the third starter?
Who's the third starter then?
Because he may turn it could turn into that situation where it's a TBD on Sunday, and if we like what happens or we don't have to use him on Friday or Saturday, he's starting on Sunday, right? Like that could be part of what's going on too here. Like,
you just play the waiting game?
Yeah.
There's a multitude of ways this thing can happen. Like he knows, once again, it's not because Kaysen has thrown bad. Like it's really not me. Not in my eyes.
I agree.
In my eyes, it's because of what's happened on the schedule already, and because those things have happened on the schedule already. Is it? Okay. It hasn't been just straight up shutdown. Do I believe that Kaysen Evans can do it? Yes, and I would imagine that entire coaching staff has full fact and full belief that he can do it too. But your job, the reason why they're paid, is to put those players and to put that team into the best situation possible. I feel like it's got to be at least on the table of the conversation. It may not get much of a conversation today, but it's got to be at least, hey, let's talk about this. We don't really have to think that much into it. We don't really have to go that deep into it. But maybe 2 weeks from now, there needs to be more of a serious talk. So let's at least make sure we brought this up before we get to that spot and we never even thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you. I personally don't think that they're going to make the move.
I don't think so either. I don't think that they're there at all.
Because there's also a conversation. There's also another conversation. If you do take him out,
leave him in.
He's going to come back next year. Like he's a junior next year, and so, there's going to have to be a say. Hey, listen. We're going to ride with you. We're going to commit to you. You're the guy. We know you're good enough, and you're going to do it. We're going to let you figure it out, whatever that looks like. Because for a couple of reasons. One, because you are a guy, and we're going to put our trust in you. But two, because we also haven't had somebody say,
I can take that
I'm
spot.
going to be the third starter. And so the chance of you figuring it out before or being what we think before somebody else taking those reins is better. That chance of you doing that is better than that.
Yeah, you're trying to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot.
Correct.
Because you're looking at, well, what's my best weapon to be able to fix what the bullpen is? Well, it's a starter. Well, if you don't have somebody to replace your starter, what really are you actually alleviating? That's where you are right now.
Correct. So, look.
Because I do, like, if you had to name another starter.
I mean, the only other guy I think that you would put in that role, which he hasn't shown that he can go deep, is like Newt or Callan.
Or Ricken.
Or he's a freshman.
Or Paz, freshman.
Who hasn't been in that situation.
If he into that spot, he would slide. That's what I'm saying. You would have to slide the guys that are already
No,
starting.
Sunday, right. The other guy would be Sunday.
Whoever's in there, whoever would take the spot wouldn't just de facto move into the Friday night spot. That ain't going to happen.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's you have to replace a spot.
Correct.
Because it'll be, Cooper Moore on Friday, then Schmidt Saturday, or flip-flop, either way. And then Sunday, you're still going, okay, if it's not going to be, if Casey Evans goes, like if you go, because I do think that there's a world in which you go Cooper Moore or William Schmidt, either one, and then you have Casey Evans as your extra bullet out of the pen. That feels like you've got one. You got to win. Right? Like, it's got to give you the best chance to succeed in terms of trying to get one.
Yeah, maybe.
I listen. I always wonder about this, dude, and I'm literally just taking a look at this. I don't know much about it. I haven't watched him pitch at all this year. And like I said, I'm just getting a look at this. But I think 2 years ago we sat there. We've always talked about the whole moving from the back end of the bullpen into a starter role and the difficulties that kind of situation brings. Right. 2 years ago, we watched a freshman All-American at Arkansas and Gabe Gackle do his thing in the back end of the bullpen. Last year, he moved into the rotation. He struggled.
Mm-hmm.
At back end of the year, they put him back in the bullpen, and he got back on his stuff. I'm just taking a look at it right now just because I was curious. I just want to see. I just want to know where it's at. He's got 5 starts on the year, so he's only starting games right now. He does have a 2.73 ERA, but that is right now sitting at 4th on the team.
Cool.
So it's not even at the top, and it's not the best of the starters right now. And then secondly, he's got the most walks on the team right now. So 2.73 is not struggling at all. Just sitting here saying, did you see if Gabe Gackle finishes this year and he gets drafted and he leaves, did the best of them come in the bullpen as a freshman, or did the best of them come when he was starting? I think we would all sit here and say, if it continues this way, there's a good chance that the best of them came in the bullpen. I just wonder if I didn't pitch, bro. Like, I'm not a pitcher, right? I didn't have to go through that. But that is a tough transition to make, and it's so hard to see guys do it at a very high clip.
He's a victim of his own success. He was just so good last year at that role.
Correct. I mean, I say the only person. There's other people, but, like, it is a tough transition. Like, Gackle's going to be a starter, and he's going to get drafted as a starter in pro ball. No doubt. Try to make it, and he may end up ultimately being a pen guy, maybe, or maybe he figures it out in pro ball and he's a starter. Same thing with Casey Evans. He's going to get drafted as a starter. I'm with you right now. I think if you go and put him back in, is it more effective? Is it going to be better for him? Is it going to get him back on track? I don't know. I just don't think that Jay's going to make that move.
The decision's not going to be made today. They're going to give him some time to figure this thing out.
Because he hasn't been bad.
No, not at all. I just wanted. I think if I was a betting man and I put money on it, I think the conversation started. Whether it's being made anytime soon or not, I think that conversation is being started. And just to go back to this real quick, because I'm sure somebody's sitting there saying 2.73. What's this idiot talking about? Gabe Gackle's not a guy that gives up more hits than innings pitched. Right now, he's giving up 29 hits and 26 in the third innings.
How many strikeouts does he have?
He's got a 282 average against right now.
How many strikeouts does he have?
31 and 26 innings.
Yeah, I mean, because he's walking guys and giving up hits. Crazy that he only has a 2.73 ERA.
The 2.73 is the wild part to me, which makes me want to see what it is. Because you would think it would be a whole lot higher than that with the other numbers and how they match up. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, dude. I don't know that that's what's going on. I'm just saying you are searching high and hard to find guys that have gone from absolute stardom in the back end as soon as they jump on the scene to making that transition to the starter role and doing it at a very high clip. It is hard to do. It just is.
Or you can score 16 runs a game and not have to worry about it.
Well, here's the other part of that is, look, take Saturday. They scored 31 runs in 3 games. Majority of those runs came in the first and the third game. You scored 31 runs over a weekend, you should win the series.
Yes. That's why Friday sucked.
And let me just put this out there, too. And I'm just being straight up about this because I think I can be honest about this and say this. To whom it may concern, whether it is you receiving the ball and or is you delivering the ball. Let me tell you one thing that I think Mikey would share this sentiment with me. As a player in the field, outfield, infield, especially in the outfield, because we don't get that many damn chances to play. You know what's the one thing that's really tough to watch? Not clean catch and throw. Correct. The ball not being caught when it hits the glove and or the ball finding its way to the backstop for whoever's fault it may be. When that happens a lot, it is so tough to play defense. And I feel like that has happened a good amount. There's been way too many balls on the ground that hit the glove first, not balls that are bounced first, balls that have hit the glove first and are finding their way to the backstop. We got to find a way to clean that stuff up. I think that helps a lot when it comes to what you've seen defensively from LSU. That stuff has got to be cleaned up.
No, I agree, 100%. Like that is
so frustrating.
For me, watching it has been what the most frustrating thing is. Like, I don't mind getting beat. I don't even mind, having a few walks here and there in big moments. But it's the pass balls. It's the
wild
pitches.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the balls bouncing around, right? It's the
compounding of errors.
Hey, we have a double play ball. It doesn't get made. Ball falls to the ground. That is that's the hard part, because then you have the outfield just standing there. You're just staying there in these long innings. It's hard. And look, LSU offense did a really good job this
forever.
Weekend. Correct. And they did a really good job this week in getting through that. Scoring runs, putting themselves in a chance to win games. It didn't happen. But the season's not over.
No.
They're 1-2 in conference play. They have 2 home series in a row, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So they have an opportunity to get back right. It's not going to just happen. Like, they're not just going to get back right because they're LSU and they're playing home, and it's not. They've got to make that change. They've got to improve, obviously, on the bump. They've got to improve defensively. Offense took a step forward this weekend. That is the one bright spot. They swung it. I don't care how bad Vanderbilt's pitching may have been. Still an SEC team. And you're still on the road. And you had every excuse the first game of the series. Down 10-4, game's not really moving that way you want it to move. A lot of walks, a lot of standing around. Every reason for you not to just kind of cash it in. Let's do it tomorrow. You didn't, score a bunch of runs. And then Sunday, obviously salvaged it. So offense, bright spot of the weekend. Still need some other guys to contribute, but if you look up and down the lineup, a lot of guys had some successful weekends. Milam had a good weekend. Much needed weekend. There's some things that need to be better, but had an opposite field double from the left side, I guess in game 2 or 3. 2. I think he had 3 hits in game 1. Had a good weekend. Jake Brown stayed sizzling hot. Like, has put himself in a conversation of the best player in the SEC right now. I don't think that's overstepping either. I mean, he's hitting .403, I think. He's got 11 homers and 36 RBIs. He's doing it against righties. He's doing it against lefties. He's making plays on the outfield, on the defensive side. He's been great.
Where are you without him?
I'll say this real quick, too. I think Milam, if they're going to choose and continue to hit him at the top of the lineup, I think he's the one for me that's going to really turn this thing around and kind of get this team going. Look, at the end of the day, I think we all like, us as a group, I don't know about everybody else, but I think we all like Milam's swing from the left-hand side a lot, right? Like, we like what he's done from there. He shows a lot of pop from that side. From the left-hand side this year, he's hitting a smooth 230. That's not him. He's a better hitter than that. He's much more consistent. He's much more impactful from the left side. He doesn't have a single homer from that side this year, right? I expect more out of him from that. So on the year, this past week he hit about 350 from the right side, still struggling from the left side. I expect that to go, and he's going to face more righties than he does lefties. So if Milam starts to go, this lineup could really get going. And this week, these past 4 games, was a really good sign for him.
Yep, I think this is a good week. Like we've seen how Milam can get going. He starts playing, he starts getting in rhythm, and it just goes. And this weekend was a good one for him. It was first week in the SEC. He kind of put himself in a position. He had some good at-bats. First game, got a few hits. Like I said, the opposite field double from the left side to me is a good sign because we know he can hit, especially from the left side. We know he's going to hit. And it was just a good sign to see him do that. So he's got going. Aaron Beatty had a pretty solid weekend. Obviously, the win ate a double off. It was going to be a sac fly regardless, but the double off the left field wall. Opposite field 2-run single. He had some moments. Cerna had some moments. Drove in a couple guys with runners in scoring position. So you had some guys start to swing it, right? Which is a good sign.
The middle of the order, that's what you were going into and looking
Curiel still hitting 330. Like,
I tell you what, man, honestly, man, and I know James been itching to do it, and I'm so interested to see how he's going to navigate that throughout the year. It seems to be that he really, really wants to have Aaron Beatty and Cerna in the lineup together. Now, how do you do it? Because seemingly at this point, that is your best 2 backstops, your best 2 catchers as well, which we all know if both of them are in the lineup, one's got a DH, one's got a hit, and then you burn them both, right? So it's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to watch how he chooses to kind of navigate that and move those guys around and give them opportunities to get going. Because to me, they need the at-bats. To me, if they get the at-bats, you get the experience, you start to grow in your role. They have so much pop and so much potential. It could really do some serious things for the middle of your lineup. And I think the better that they are, the more opportunity that they get to kind of get the experience to move along, the more it's going to help York. And I think if you can get those 3 guys going, you got some serious things going, man. Once again, we talk about this past weekend, and you can be disappointed as you want. But 30-plus runs scored on a team that we all have been saying, oh, the offense behind, the offense doesn't do this, and you're 1 pitch away from winning a series on the road at Vanderbilt, the team that's second in the country in homers, the team that if you really look at their lineup, you go sit here and say, yeah, it's a little different if we're being honest because they have a very good lineup as well. And I think that what you're seeing from them on the mound and what you're seeing from them in the win and loss column right now will not be the conversation when we get towards the end of the year. It's not as bad of a weekend as you think, but you got work to do.
No doubt.
You got days to go.
You're not going to win every series. You got to win the ones you're supposed to win. This one's on the road. Obviously, always tough. When you have an opportunity to steal a game, you got to steal it.
Mm-hmm.
When you have an opportunity to put somebody away, you got to put them away. That's the end. You can look at everybody's record at the end of the season, and you can go back to those games. Like, did you have an opportunity to win this one that you're supposed to win and didn't? And did you have an opportunity to steal a game and then blew at the end? And you'll look at, and that's going to make or break a lot of seasons. It's not over, just the start of it. I do firmly believe LSU is going to be in the mix at the end of the year, but got to make some changes, got to make some adjustments, and got to play better. And they know that.
And one more thing on the LSU front, because I do think this dovetails into what kind of is part of the LSU story up to now. LSU has made multiple errors in 6 of 21 games so far this year, so that's 29%. It happened 9 times in 68 games last year, 13% of their games. So you're seeing the defense be an absolute. If you're not going to bang and hit score 16 runs, you have to be able to load it up defensively. They don't have that, and so now I think you're starting to see them go more to Jared's point. Like, I need Cerna in, I need Aaron Beatty in, and now I'm going to put Pearson in.
Well, and the thing about that is, whenever you are making errors like that, right? Like you said, we have 6 multiple errors, and
they come in
those
bunches.
those are just the errors that are made. Those aren't even talking about the plays that should be made aren't made.
They're not doing any of that unless it's fucking Milam.
So, like, to your point, if you need 2 of the 3 to feel like you can be in every game.
You can't walk people, you can't throw wild pitches, you can't have pass balls, and you can't have errors,
right,
and then not score.
Right. right now it's
It sounds like a bad equation.
Correct.
Yeah, it sounds like not winning.
Right now, it feels like you're getting one. You're getting one of the three in any given game,
Yeah, and you can still win
and you're still
in the fight.
But
Stop
they're
walking
gonna be
people.
fine. They're gonna be fine. Fill the zone up. Find the guys you can rely on. Throw strikes. Make the plays.
What's also crazy is you put Ruckert as a defensive guy, and he's got like
That was the one that hurt me. I was like, damn, because I thought it was gonna be a double play. Drops it. I'm like, damn, that was it. That was it.
I don't.
He did
Neither
everything
one of
right,
y'all
but he
y'all
dropped
didn't
it.
play in the dirt. But
No.
is it that big of a defensive shift going from short for his entire life to second?
No.
Because
I
I
mean-
mean, I play. I did play in the dirt. I played both.
Yeah, I don't think it's an adjustment, as big of an adjustment. I think the adjustment is you're making the adjustment from high school to college. And
Well, none of these are hard hit balls.
no, you're right. I mean, it's not like you're getting smashed and smoked. It's just, the game moves a little
Game's
faster. And you're freshman, no matter how
and you
talented
don't want to
are,
fuck up.
there's nerves that happen. But he'll be better for it, and I think he's still going to continue to get opportunities.
No way you see.
Hey, y'all forgetting, like, hey, he's played. He's come in and played a lot of ball this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, props to that, respect to that. It was his first SEC series.
No doubt,
yeah.
no doubt.
It happened on the road to where, if you think about it, and we're being completely honest, I know we're sitting here, and a lot of people our age, maybe and or older, sitting here saying, "Oh, that ain't the same Vandy." This is a Vandy team that guy got a chance to see growing up as one of the best in baseball.
Right.
It's a different opportunity stepping on the field against a team that you saw hoist the trophy a lot as a youngster, right? So I'm not making a huge deal about it. I'm not making a excuse about it. But there's a reason why he's gotten as many opportunities as he's gotten, and I
Right.
gotta imagine that kid's gonna keep coming along. And man, don't be surprised if he finds himself in the lineup a lot. Like
I
agree.
I 100% on board. I think you will see him in the lineup. I've been saying I think you just let him out there and let him play second, because he is going to be the shortstop of the future for you
Next year.
next year. So get him out there, get him in the mix, and because you're not playing. There's not enough production from that spot right now, offensively, to warrant
Not putting him in
not putting him in.
for defense, but
Right.
the defense hasn't been good.
Yeah.
And no chance that you see the switch, right? Milam to second, him
No.
to short.
No,
No,
I'm just
zero.
saying, just Paul.
Yeah, but that was different. That was way different. Because, listen, DJ, elite shortstop, was playing great. Did make a decent amount of errors at short. And it wasn't, he didn't move him necessarily for production. He moved him because he felt like that combination was going to be better defensively, which he was right on.
Yeah, won a national
He also said
championship.
DJ was going to play in the big leagues at second. He was correct on that as well. Obviously, it was not an easy move. DJ was not happy about the move. But Milam has not.
No.
Milam hasn't made any errors.
He's playing both positions.
And so, it's just, that's not a move you make.
I've never seen that either, and I don't even know that
Because if you're going to put someone at shortstop, you've got to say the guy at shortstop is going to be better than the shortstop we have now, defensively.
that's what I was asking. If it
If you
makes
make the,
makes
if you make
him
the switch.
like where Milam would not be a drop off at second, obviously, and if it makes Ruckert more comfortable, then do you do that? Because you're seeing Jay put Milam in every position possible
But-
where the ball is going to be hit to him.
Correct, but that's a big risk.
It is.
Hey, is this freshman going to be more comfortable at shortstop, moving our All-American shortstop to second? Is that the move? Let's not.
They haven't. I mean, God,
You know,
I
I
still
think
can't remember
Maneri-
a double play.
I think Maneri knew Nola was like,
Lights out.
and he did, because Nola came in at the back end of games, and Nola was. You
Unbelievable.
couldn't hit a ball hard enough or put it through a pit, whatever, hard enough at Nola at shortstop for him not to make the play. It was just he saw it and he was like, this guy, and his temperament was there. He's gonna be a shortstop. It's gonna be fun.
Too dumb to fail.
No, he's not dumb. He's not dumb.
I mean, he's a simple man.
But that's not what you. That's not. That's not a move you make. You can't put the shortstop. That's
Well,
been
no, but
great.
the only reason I brought it up because I don't think you do it either because Milos has made too many good plays at short, and he's the best shortstop defensively in the country. But I was just thinking because of the way that they're using like the shift and how they're moving Milam around, it's something that could be considered because you're trying to make the baseball find him because it's the only person you trust on the infield.
Yeah, but you see a lot. Like whenever they had the shift in the big league ball, you saw a lot of that.
Yeah, no, it's just the first time I've seen it this this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but
I don't
still
want to
not-
move him.
you're
He's
still not
too
moving him that
good.
short. You're not moving him that short.
And he's a shortstop in
And here's
the
the
bigs.
deal: the solution is not to say, "Hey, let's tailor our defense to what's going to make a freshman comfortable." The solution is how do we make him comfortable with the position that we're making him play?
You
at?
have to
Because
play
he's good
here.
enough. If he's good at defensively as short, he can play any position in the infield. It's just a matter of getting comfortable, and that's a fact.
Jack.
That's why everybody likes shortstops. Because if you're good at shortstop, if you're really good at shortstop, and you're athletic enough, and you're good defensively there, I can put you anywhere on the infield.
Certainly second.
Yep.
They're not stealing any outs defensively unless it's in the outfield. Stanfield coming back was massive.
Yeah, that was a big boost, no doubt. All right,
Even offensively.
correct. He had a great weekend offensively, unexpected. Because I thought it was gonna take us some time, but
Double.
yeah, he had it going, double machine. All this to say, LSU's gonna be good. You have another weekend. Get back on the horse this week, I believe, midweek.
Grambling.
Cramlin. Don't lose that one. That would be a disaster. But go midweek, play a game, then you got home. You got your first home SEC series this weekend.
F45 tailgate.
Go out there. There you go. There you go.
You're part of it.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're tagged in all the socials.
I didn't even see that.
It's and so is Jared, who said he was going to be there.
I didn't see myself tagged in any of them.
I didn't see myself tagged in any of them.
Mik'd up is tagged in it.
Okay, but not me personally.
I don't know
That
what
is you
they're talking-
personally. You run the Twitter account.
Yeah, I do not. But they get back at it at home. It's a good way to get
Thursday,
back
Friday,
right.
Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So make some adjustments, make it happen. Have a good weekend. Get back in the saddle. SEC around the country. I mean, around the league was interesting. No road team.
Interesting is one way to put it.
No road team won except for Auburn, but they played at Missouri. That doesn't count.
Okay.
Oh,
They played the fraternity park?
Yeah, they played the fraternity house. It doesn't count. SAE house.
Yeah.
Whatever the numbers are.
Pi Beta Phi.
Kappa Sig House was the home of the Missouri
Braves.
Tigers. So that doesn't count. But every other road team other team went on the road and lost. Alabama got swept. Not great.
They're not good.
And so it's SEC is a gauntlet. There's gonna be home. You have to take advantage of your home series. That's what you've seen.
Oklahoma is good.
Oklahoma is good. That was a great series between them and A&M. That was at Oklahoma, right? So A&M lost that series. Obviously, a little drama, some shit talking happening, bat flips going from dugout to dugout. A lot of FUs from the coaching staff at each other. So interesting. Tennessee, Georgia, interesting finish to that weekend. We'll get into that. Texas gets their first loss of the season, but finishes the series at home.
Oh, but they handled it well.
Was this on the lost day? That can't be on the lost day.
No, this is a whole different game.
Yeah.
But this is Grand Valley, or whoever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying the boys
Little
are
mooch,
they're
little
all- yeah,
smoochy, little
smooch. The
smoochy.
boys are locked in.
Yeah, hey, they're just showing love for each other apparently. But they defend their home field. They get a series win. The big one was Arkansas, Mississippi State. I think that series kind of proved to be
Class of the
pretty
SEC.
entertaining. Obviously, a walk-off. I think it was a walk-off homer on game one, Arkansas. But that's not over, right? Jared, didn't you say they play tonight or today?
Yep. I'm like trying to look for it right now. It's funny you said that. I'm literally looking for the game right now, and I can't find it. So I don't know, but I did see that. It did say that they were playing on Monday night. Today is Monday, so I would imagine that this is the Monday that they were talking about.
They don't have them on the schedule. Let's see if they.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that game was.
I ain't see him play yesterday, and I don't see it anywhere up here right now. It's almost I don't really know.
Damn, so maybe they got rained out. Maybe it was like one of those things where you're not because they're not on.
I mean, it sounded crazy that they would be playing on a Monday. I'm like, well, how does that work with the travel and how they're moving around?
So that seems like that's a big series if they have only 2 games.
Oh, it's like the LSU
They
Georgia.
split it.
Yeah. No, like the LSU South
Carolina.
series.
That's South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But South Carolina wasn't potentially a top 5 team in the country that year. That was 2 top 5 teams. I believe they split
They
1-1,
played-
right?
No, we also got got 9 weekends
Or
left.
they-
Who knows who's
They
gonna
play.
be where at
Or
that
they
point.
played all 3 games?
Yeah.
So they doubleheader or no?
No, they played March 13th.
That was Friday the 13th.
Yes. Oklahoma loses 7-8.
No, we're not talking about Oklahoma.
Oklahoma A&M. Who played?
No.
Mississippi
Talking
State,
about
Arkansas.
Mississippi State and Arkansas.
Oh, wrong. Never mind. Hold on. Let me check the till again. I just had Cam Johnson on the brain.
Yep. He threw well again.
No,
Did not throw well.
awful. He did the Cam Johnson. Didn't get out of the first.
Got it.
And so I wonder what they're going to do with him coming into LSU if he's going to throw on Thursday or Friday.
I don't know. I mean, teams go different directions on that one. LSU,
He is the most mercurial pitcher in baseball.
yeah. I'm curious about this series because it was a top 5. Did Arkansas walk them off on Friday? Did Arkansas win the first 2 games?
It
I think
went
they split.
Arkansas,
Walk off.
yes, 5-4, and then Texas A&M won 7-2.
No, Mississippi State.
Oh, no, Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. They're the same colors.
Okay.
Fuck 'em.
Mississippi State won 7-2.
Yes, and then they did play.
They did play game 3.
Yeah, they did. They doubled it up. 1 o'clock on Saturday, and then 4 o'clock on
Okay,
Saturday.
so doubleheader on Saturday.
And so,
I must have completely missed that.
yeah, Arkansas won 2 of 3.
So Arkansas won the series. So it stays tracks what we're saying. But that was a big series. So Tennessee, Georgia, big series. Tennessee had a chance to win the series. Thought they won the series.
Definitely celebrated as if they did.
Didn't win the series. Georgia won the series with a robbed home run, basically. That was on Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Robbed homer to win the series. It was not. And
Oops.
if you do that, you bet that ball has to be over the hedges. Weekend
Hey,
ends.
listen, I'm gonna tell you what. There's a couple things that happen, like this one, and then the one. If anybody got a chance to see it, Florida homer that was hit as well, where it was let me pimp it, and then oh shit, right in the middle of pimping it. I don't know if I actually got it that well. Let me take a half a step or a step and a half and try to run hard, and then let me stop again and pimp, and then slam the bat. Know your power.
Yeah.
All right?
Know it.
Know your power. Know your power. Either you got it or you didn't.
Here's the deal. If
And
you're
you
gonna-
didn't and you don't know, run.
Yep.
If you did, I'm okay with it.
Correct.
We can't be doing that, and that ball does not land on the other side of the fence.
Correct.
They can't 10-row deep pop. But Paul knew when he put one on the other side of the fence, and it didn't
But
matter what field it was. Know your pop.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Do that.
If it has to get into the 3rd row, ball's not hit very far, but you know your pop that is going over the fence. Wild week in the SEC, though.
It's fun. It
Yeah.
really is the best.
It's going to be another one next weekend. All right, 7 o'clock. Oh, let's get to these
Oh, Lord.
and the mistakes of the day. You want to just jump into it?
You might as well.
Let's jump into it.
This is also something that.
Can we
Because
put a disclaimer on the TV before we roll that thing next time?
Because I want to. Yeah, that's tough. Can you explain that for everybody that may not know
I
what
don't
it
even
is?
know what the other meme is, but it's been around a while. But he did the exact same thing.
That's a soccer coach, right?
I don't know, but
Soccer, Celtics,
he was disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
But this is unbelievable. And look, baseball, LSU has its own little celebration. Baseball is getting more and more erotic with the boys. This may be a bridge too far as we.
Double hand slap.
And
Get
then
real
the
tight.
grip.
It's the grip. You know, it's tough.
Who's grip? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, you got someone pull. Yeah. You got double grip
There's
there.
so many things wrong about
So
what's
many
going on
things.
here.
What do
Man.
you? What? Okay, I'll
That's
ask
crazy.
y'all as former players and teammates. Not obviously, I don't think y'all did this. If you saw that happen in the Dougie, are we going? What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm answering the AO. No, sir. Hey, me personally, if I saw that happen in the dugout, Max Fine Kangaroo Court.
Guys, but I was bring the kangaroo court
No
back.
doubt.
Ain't gonna win.
No doubt.
Wait, who gets the most?
Both.
Both of them.
Equal
fine?
offenders.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it twice because there was two fouls going on there. That's a little much going. Hey, woo, let's take that down.
It's the hands for me.
Got a ball game going on here.
Yeah, that's tough.
Keep that. You think they're roommates?
No, I don't know. I don't really care. I had very close roommates. I got roommates that I'm really really close with still today. We never
Did that.
Yeah, no.
Because I thought even for, was it Chris Gambra that hit Shambra that hit the walk-off whenever they started taking the jersey off, and he had no undershirt. I was like, okay, we're getting a little nude.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But that was my first introduction. It's like, oh, okay, we're getting this sensual. This is
Because they do that in the big leagues all the time now. Rip your jersey.
I know that, but they usually have like an undershirt on.
I used to go to no undershirt.
This ain't even sensual. This is.
I hope it's consensual.
Well, judging by the handles.
So, mistake of the day. One of them.
What?
That was one of the mistakes of the day. Not great luck.
The best thing about this is it saves the motorboat.
You know what?
Yes.
The simple fact that you just twisted that into being the best thing about it is that's crazy work. Good
Well,
for
no,
you.
because LSU, I mean, they got their own celly. We're beating up the boobies. But
Yeah, but that's different.
that's exactly. Now you have layers to this game of we're not doing that, so we're okay. You had Florida crank the hose. Like, ours is just a little bit of good fun.
I don't know if it makes it okay. It's we talked about this earlier. It's starting to build a case where we're getting real risky here.
I don't know how to punish it.
Getting real risky here.
Risque.
Risque.
All right, that's what. So you got that one. You showed the Texas one. I mean, the Texas one. Another little, so just a lot of closeness going on.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the Tennessee one is just SEC baseball right now. Just
And then you have the good old fashioned. This is what I remembered from baseball. Fuck
The
you.
Aggies
No,
thought
fuck
he took
you.
a while to get around the bases.
This is what I thought it was going to be.
Unsure.
yeah. What a half-ass hold me back deal by the other coach.
Maybe the Aggies thought he took a while to get around the base.
So, some context. Guy from Oklahoma hits a homer, pimps it, throws his bat at the A&M dugout. Michael Early, the head coach for A&M, takes the bat and throws it at the Oklahoma dugout. And just, a lot of tension. Tension's running high.
But this is fine.
That's good. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
not.
I believe, if I'm not wrong, which isn't shocking because of the team that is involved, I believe that Tennessee-Georgia had a lot of tension too.
Oh, so we got a bat thrown over here. Profit.
Take that back.
Oh, so we
By
got a bat.
the way, that is the Oklahoma bat boy right in front of him.
Oh no! Yeah.
Poor
Damn.
kid.
What are you gonna fuck me for? What did I do? I'm just trying to do my job.
Hey, can I tell you this? And I think I made this comment before. Bad boys are in the middle of the most outrageous things that happen on baseball because usually things happen after the play, and so they're either going to get
They hear all
the
of it.
stuff from the first base coach, or they're getting the bat, and they're right in the middle of like, damn, this is exactly what happened. This is how it started. You know what I mean? This is how the bench is cleared. So they're in the middle of it.
If you want a source.
Bad boys. Yeah, but tension. I have no problem with tensions running high. SEC, it makes it more fun.
And our curtain call goes to.
We're gonna get into it. Or you got your own?
I think we're just gonna get into it, like because this is
This is what that's why I want to. That's why I want to start it because I want to have at least a 5.
Yeah, get the
at least a
get
5
runway.
conversation. Yes. Curtain call goes to Team USA. Lloyd was one of the Nega USA people last week.
Nega MAGA.
I was trying to figure out the best way to do it, but he did not believe that USA really cared because of the Mark DeRosa comments and him not knowing that they didn't get in, guys not playing, all this stuff. Listen, obviously not a good look. Didn't turn out, worked out for him. He took it. He said, "Listen, I put the cart before the horse. Probably shouldn't have done that." But the guys,
Easy to say after
guys-
everything worked out.
guys do want to. They do care. They do want to win. They do want to play. Right. So that game, you may not see a better collection of talent on the field at one time, on a baseball field at one time than you did last night. In that game, there was almost $1 billion worth of contracts that are going to be paid next year on the field. I believe it's somewhere around just under $700 million worth of salaries between the two teams on guys on the field. And so you had a high level game. I think Dominican Republic it scored 51 runs and only give up 10 in the prior 4 games. They're playing Team USA. They go out there. Paul Skeens on the bump. Luis Severino on the bump. And it is a high-level baseball game. 2-1 is the final. 3 solo homers, I believe, are all the runs. Had some outstanding defensive plays on both sides. Some big-time pitches and big-time spots. Some calls that maybe should have gone the other way. Everything that you want in a baseball game, high-level baseball game, happens. But the reason why it's my curtain call is because Major League Baseball needed this. Baseball in general needed this. Needed some to show you kind of what passionate baseball looks like. Not when you get in the postseason, but passionate baseball. And to see these guys that are playing at this level of, like the level that they're playing at, reaching the peak of their career, superstars, maybe at the back end of their career, maybe they've been in the league for 12 years, just starting their career. They all come together, and, you have some young guys, Paul Skeens being one of them, play and be big reasons why you move on to the finals. Paul Skeens,
you don't
pitch
win without Paul Skeens.
Gunnar Henderson, DeRosa, good move, put him in over Bregman because he had the success he had against Luis Severino. Homer. Roman Anthony, 21 years old, 22 years old, superstar for the Boston Red Sox. Hits the 2-run, hits a homer to go up 2-1. All these guys are putting together, and you watch the reaction of the dugout. Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, all these guys are jumping off the top step, fired up, meeting these guys out there. That is awesome. And to me, that's the curtain call is you had them come together. You had them play with passion. They ended up winning the game. And the beauty of baseball is normally in these situations, it's all veteran guys. The young guys, unless you are the absolute tip-top superstar, aren't getting a ton of run. In this WBC, the young guys are getting a ton of run as well as some of the superstars, and it puts baseball in a good position moving forward. So that's my curtain call.
Baseball's got to take advantage of this, right?
They're going to go to a lockout.
Can't get this momentum, play a season, have a great World Series, and then get locked out. You can't. You got to take advantage of this and move forward. So the stage has been set for a great year.
Don't make that the curtain call.
Literally. But, yeah, this is what you get. You actually did see some emotion from Team USA, which was nice.
Yep. That was great.
I will say this. Hey, you know what I am interested to see? What kind of intrigue and suspense will the box being taken off the screen and the umpire challenging calls, what kind of suspense is that going to bring us through ball games this year? I do want to see what that's going to do.
The ABS system, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that going into effect in the regular season, or are they just trying out in spring training this year?
No, it's a go this year.
Is it, or is it next year?
When they use it, you won't be able to have the box on the screen. So, I don't know if they chose to do that in terms of not allowing teams to basically be able to cheat somehow, some way, and use that, the box on the screen to use the ABS to their advantage, or if they're doing it solely, or not solely, more so because of it makes for better television if you don't have the box and a pitch gets challenged and we get a chance to see if it's right or if it's wrong.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting.
Because imagine the game last night. If that's implemented and they don't have the box on the screen and you get another pitch, if they challenge it, there'd be a lot of suspense there.
Right.
Well, because you have obviously the reason that this is easily discussed is the last pitch of the game yesterday, right?
Yep.
Where I'm pulling it up now. Oh. Ball or strike.
Wait,
it's probably a ball. I will say this, Lloyd. I told you this morning. If you watch those last 2 innings for sure, maybe even the last 3, if I really go back, I don't remember what I think his name's Griffin Jacks did. I remember seeing him throw, but I don't remember all of it. if you watched those last 2, maybe 3 innings, brother, that is what high-level baseball is. There was so much of that game that was played from white edge to white edge. Not, hey, let me go 6 inches off and see if you'll chase. It was literally, I'm over this plate, and I'm either going to be in the zone, above the zone, or below the zone, but you're going to get something over the plate. What on earth are you going to do with it? It was literally like man to man, my best against your best. What you going to do with it? I love seeing that.
Yeah, I love that too.
Fair to say that was probably, I mean, I know it wasn't the championship, but the 2 best teams played last night.
Yes. 2 best teams played last night.
Because, like you said, because I didn't consider it the same way that you did, because we went from LSU baseball to the World Baseball Classic, and the amount of intensity and how much faster it went and that's why it was. Like, I didn't know how to put a finger on it, but when Jared said, it's like they're going at each other.
Yeah,
like
they want to win.
There's no walks. There's no bullshit. There's just, my good against your good.
You want to look at the most high-level baseball? That was it.
That was awesome.
You have the best players that we can offer, most of the best players, because there's some guys that probably – and look, some guys that probably didn't play, some guys that are playing maybe not have been on the team that are helping you win. I don't know, but these are the best. Those are your best. That's high-level baseball. Like, that's what you look at and you're like, damn, this is elite baseball. And it was awesome.
You don't see many lineups and rosters filled out the way those 2 were and get them to play a real passionate baseball game. Like, you don't see that kind of passion. You don't see that kind of drive. You don't see that kind of grit. You don't see that kind of want coming out in an all-star game. You just not.
No.
Right?
No.
You don't see those kind of lineups even on World Series winning ball clubs. Like, you just don't. Those lineups, those rosters, and the way that game was played, that's about as good as you'll ever see it.
Yeah, correct.
The big loser.
Also, that obviously great, but this Roman Anthony, the way he handled that homer, and like I don't know his personality, I can just go based off how he plays and what his personality looks like. Super talented, uber confident, but hits the homer and he runs around the base like he's done it 1,000 times, dude. And he gets a home plate, all about it. I mean, it's awesome. Looking forward to the finals. Tonight's going to be interesting. Aaron Nolan's on the mound tonight for Italy to put them into the finals. So LSU plays the winner of Venezuela and Italy, who play right now. They're playing right now. So,
and then you got Clayton Kershaw starting, right?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Not on the roster. What are you talking about?
I know, it's a joke.
But, yep. All right. That's all we got.
Great show. A lot of baseball.
A lot of baseball. Great
weekend.
Just great weekend. Great weekend. I hope my voice is all the way back tomorrow. We appreciate the love and support. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us anywhere you get your pods. We'll be back live on Wednesday in studio from 6 to 8-ish. Again, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. See y'all on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Peace. Weather's been crazy. Today.
Oh, yeah. America.